All right, so price traded into the block, and then like I mentioned, it didn't sell right from there. It went up, almost went out of the block. Fortunately for us, it gave us this rejection candle. And then right after that, the market started dropping just like we anticipated. Of course, it has only gone about 55% of our range because we were anticipating a sell to what was it? I think it's here, right? We are anticipating that it sells to 9,560.76 around that price. Okay. That means that we haven't gone anywhere. Okay. But then this still has given some good profit if you took advantage of this. So where were you supposed to take the sell and when were you supposed to do that? One, you have to take the trade within the block. You have to take it within the block after the market has given you a confirmation that it's going to sell. And this is what a reversal candle suggesting that the buy move is about to what reverse. And if that's the case, it means we are going to drop from here. So ideally, you would have taken the sell the moment this candle completed because we are using the 1 hour order block. We are making reference to the 1 hour candle. So right when the 1 hour inverted pin bar closed, you could have gone in for a sell because that has given you a confirmation that this is what going to sell. Remember, we mentioned there are three main things that you do anytime that you visit the chart. One, you should be able to tell the structure of the market. Then two, you should be able to mark appropriate levels. So this is the level that we've marked here. And then the third option is to, or the third point is to what? Wait for your entry signal. So in this case, this candle is serving as what? This is serving as the reversal candle or our entry signal. And upon seeing this, we could have taken a sell. Okay, right. It seems someone's hand is up. I don't know if is it a technical issue or you want to ask a question. If it is a question, you can hold on with that. After the meeting, you can ask your question. Okay. Right. If it is something pressing, you can put it in the chat box. I'll get to it and address it. Thank you. Right. So that's what I mean. We need to see something that tells us that indeed this market is going to go in the direction we are suggesting. So sometimes it's not always going to be an inverted pin bar. We have engulfing candles. I want to believe you know all of them because like I mentioned, I gave you the book and it mentioned all of these. You should know their significance. If it has given us, in fact, upon giving us this inverted pin bar, it went ahead to give us this engulfing bearish candle. So that's also another confirmation that indeed this is going to sell. Okay, so we need these confirmations before we take the sell. It shouldn't be that because we are anticipating the sell from here, once it enters the block, we take the sell. Sometimes the nature of the candles entering the block should tell you that we are very likely to go over the block. So it could have gone through it without reversing. That was also another possibility. And that's why it is important for us to wait for the reversal candle. So I think the same thing or similar thing happened on this market 75 1x. So we were anticipating a buy from here, and this is the 1 hour. This is the 1 hour, what do you call it, time frame. So we were anticipating that price will drop into this and give us a reversal candle that will push us to the top. Okay, but then look at it. Price gave us strong bearish candles approaching the level. And look at the candle that went through the block. A strong bearish candle, indicating that still the sellers are very strong in the market. They are still dominant in the market. If that is the case, and then we are anticipating a sell from here, we don't have to go ahead and take that sell. So long as we don't see any buy confirmation, what it means is that the sellers could be pushing the price further down. Okay, look at it here. There is another one here. So it is very likely that price could be heading for this block instead of this. Because of that, if you don't see the reversal candle here, let it go. Okay. If it should get to this block and again, it doesn't give us any sign that it is going to reverse, we let it go. Okay. Because it's dangerous to trade aggressively. If you enter because it has entered the block, you stand a chance of losing your trade. But if you do that upon a confirmation candle, there is a higher chance you may win that trade. You understand? So we had this setup, but we didn't take it to the block because we didn't see the confirmation candle we were looking forward to. Yeah, I think when it went through it on the lower time frame, it was giving us some bullish signals, but still it looks like the sellers are not done. So we will wait to see how price will react in this zone. If it gives us a reversal confirmation, then we can take our buy from here and then take it all the way to the top because this was our target that we buy from here and then go all the way up here. Still that gap is still there to be filled. So if we should buy from here the same way, we are holding it all the way to the top. But we are only going to do that upon what the confirmation of buys. That's the point that we want to make from here. Right. And so last night I posted this as well. I posted this setup. I think I had this other block. I had this other block and then I was waiting that price will I think that time it was around here. Yeah, it was around here. So I was anticipating that price will push into the block and then give us this sell. But unfortunately, it couldn't get there and then it sold. However, there are so many ways of killing a cat. It's not only other blocks that you can use to enter the market. There are what we call fair value gaps. If you don't know any of the things that I'm mentioning, you have to do your research. Go to YouTube. This one, you get a lot of lessons on them. These are stuff that you should be curious about to learn more about. Okay, we have done our part. The rest is on you. Okay, learn about other blocks and learn about fair value gaps. Okay, so there was a fair value gap here right here. And so price chose to respect this fair value gap over our other block. So the sell, this is the explanation behind the sell. It actually traded into the fair value gap and then sold from there. When if assuming you knew about fair value gaps and then price traded into the fair value gap, when were you supposed to take the sell? Okay, you see that going into the gap it gave us series of what bullish candles, but then immediately it entered. It gave us this rejection candle, gave us another one, and then subsequently started what giving us strong bearish candles, meaning that the sell has what taken has begun. So upon the formation of this rejection candle, you could have gone in for yourself. Okay, that is if you knew about fair value gaps and then you knew how to trade them. Once price traded into it and then gave us this rejection candle, you could have gone in from here. And where would you have placed your stop loss? So there are two ways to do it. I'll show you all of them. So the first one is that you can target it was the same target and then you put your stop loss above your gap. This is one way to do it. You can put your stop loss above what the gap like this. Okay, this one gave us almost 10 is to 1 risk to reward ratio. So you risk $10, you win $100. You risk $100, you win $1,000. Okay. Yeah. But then also, because of the other block up here, you could have what extended this to go over the other block, because if this fair value gap fails, the other block can hold it. But then when we do that, look at what has happened here. The risk has increased. So now our target is only four times our risk. It is fine, but then this risk is bigger than the first one. Okay. So the point that I'm driving at is that when you are able to identify the blocks or the fair value gaps, you don't just enter once when price trades inside them or into them. No, you don't do that. Wait for price to give you a confirmation that indeed the sell you are waiting for is about to take place, or the buy you are waiting for is about to take place. How do you see that? The market will give you signs. One of them is reversal candle. You will see some reversal candles, or you will see engulfing candles. Engulfing candles, we mean that in this case, we could have seen a very big bearish candle that engulfs the whole of this bullish candle. So you get something like this trading all the way to maybe a level like this, meaning that the sellers have swallowed up the buyers. If that's the case, it means the sellers are taking control of the market. And for that matter, we should expect more sales. That's basically it. So these are signs that we have to wait for before we take our trade. We don't have to just jump on the trade anyhow. If you do that, the market will punish you, right? I want us to go back here and look at, we also have the setup on, was it jump 75? Yeah, we had a setup here. And then this was the block. Right. This was the block. So if you check the setup, I was anticipating, or I was expecting a drop into this before the buy. The time I did the setup, it was around here. It was almost there. And unfortunately, it couldn't get to the block, and then it started buying. So in situations like this, what do you do? So one, because it didn't get to the block, you may decide to leave that trade, let it go, because there will be more opportunities in the future. Another way is that if you know market structure shift and then all that, you can apply that here, because there was a shift here, right? There was a shift here. So it's indicating that the market is changing from the downtrend into what? An uptrend. So once you have noticed this, a break and retest, you cannot join the move all the way to the top. However, the ideal point to take the trade is here. That doesn't mean it is the only entry on the chart. That's one thing you should pay attention to. But this will be the ideal place to enter, because if you are to enter here, your stop loss will be, if you are to enter here, okay, your stop loss will be a little below the block with your TP all the way up there. This will give you a reduced risk, and this has high chances of what? Hitting your targets compared to joining it from here. Okay, it can respect this and continue to buy. However, if you should catch it here, that would be the ideal point. So I just want you to understand that it's not only the blocks that we can use for the entries. It is only recommended because it reduces the risk. However, you can also use the break and retest once there has been a market structure shift and then price is moving in the direction you have predicted. So you can use the break and retest to pick your trades as well. I want to believe that this is not difficult. So when we post something like this on the channel, this is what we mean. Now observe this well. You see that on my right side we have this green reading here, 18,507.42. Now this green is my target. Now we have a red reading here, 14,101.53. That is my risk or your stop loss. This is where you place your stop loss. And then you see the fainted black reading here. That is your entry. Okay, that is your entry. So ideally, we are expecting that when price should drop into the block, at that point, it should give us indications that it is about to reverse. That is the reason we didn't put the entry right on the block, but then we sent it a bit inside because we want to believe that price would react to the block and then give us signs that it is about to reverse. Okay. Yeah. So even upon that, we will wait to see the reversal candles before we take the entry because that's the only confirmation that the buy is really going to start. If we don't see them, we can let it go. Okay. So you can look out for um rejection candles, like the candles with long wicks or an engulfing candle. You can use that one as well. Okay, so this is how you interpret a setup on the platform, and this is how you can take an advantage of the setups. Okay, so if you see anything there and you don't understand, don't assume anything and then go and get it wrong. Ask questions and then we'll take our time to explain it to you. Okay, so we only met here to, understand how to do the reading of the setups and then also to see how to identify the confirmation candles. Very, very important. Without them, your blocks may fail, your fair value gaps may fail. But when you see them, that's giving you an indication that indeed it is ready to go in whichever direction that you are predicting. Okay, so that is just it. This evening's session is just very short, but I won't have more interaction with you, so I'm going to stop this